This is starting to get ridiculous, and you know what? I'm done pulling punches. The gloves are officially off. If they ban TikTok, I'm over on YouTube anyways. But if these are the types of comments that I'm getting from so many lovely, upstanding, intelligent ladies telling me that I hate women and that I should end my life, it's hilarious because they are actually unwittingly proving the point that I was making in the video that they're so angry about. So my video was about the controversial topic of manslamming, a social experiment trend where these women believe that they are taking their power back from our inherently patriarchal, misogynistic society by going around in public and purposely not moving out of the way for men. Essentially, trying to physically run into them. Some even claiming that they actually try to shoulder check men.
Normalize not moving out of the way for men that's coming towards you on the sidewalk. Why do I have to move?
I've been doing the not moving for men experiment, and let me tell you, they don't move. I have crashed into so many men. I would like to compare women's experiences not moving for men. Tell me, have you ever tried to not move out of the way for men?
It went viral when one of these women brought her thesis to the New York Times, painting a picture of malicious patriarchal oppression. But in my opinion, all of this is nothing more than a trend of unhealthy, mentally unstable, socially inept women who want to be oppressed so badly that they actually go around seeking out confirmation bias. It is written, "What you seek, you shall find." If you try to run into men, you will run into men. If you try to run into women, you will run into women. If you try to run into senior citizens, you will run into senior citizens. If you walk into traffic, you will get hit by a car. 2 + 2 is 4. And this is what the human brain does naturally. It is constantly seeking to prove what it already believes. So, if you're someone who believes that men are out to get you and to run into you, your brain will hyperfixate on the 10 men who bump into you and will ignore the 90 who redirected their paths. What's more, I also came across a publication written by a woman named Catherine who tested this theory of manslamming, after which she publicly denounced it as a thing because she actually found that more women ran into her than men. I brought the receipts so you don't have to go looking for them. So this is a clip from Catherine's video that she uploaded to YouTube of her walking around Grand Central for an hour on a Friday in 2015. Catherine found that 66 women ran into her while only 23 men did. In her article, she said that more men than that got close to running into her, but ultimately moved out of the way in the end and seemed afraid of knocking her over. To quote from her article, "I was physically bumped, body checked, and pushed by nearly 3 times as many women as men. So, should we call it woman slamming? No, that would be missing the point, which is that it's not a gendered phenomenon. If you walk around not caring if you bump into people, you are going to bump into people. It is as simple as that. So like I said, what you seek, you will find. And hey, maybe men are more likely than women to bump into a stranger accidentally or on purpose. Maybe men, as the generally larger mammal, naturally assume more physical space. Okay. And women are more likely to abuse children. Women are more likely to commit and initiate non-lethal intimate partner violence. Men are more likely to pay for the first date. Not everything has to be about demonizing each other and pointing fingers and pitting men and women against each other in the victim Olympics. In the blame game, no one wins. But I have all the time for the smoke today, so I'm going to take it a step further because y'all are asking for it at this point. I didn't want to say it like this in the first place, as it's not very kind, but the truth hurts, and the fact is, smaller, less attractive and poorly dressed people, man or woman, will be the most likely to share this experience of being ran into and overlooked on the sidewalk. And when I look at the profiles of the people who are getting the most triggered, all I can think to myself is, yep, that checks out. Pretty privilege is a real thing, and so is physical intimidation. Do you really think a 6'5", tatted up bodybuilder shares the same experience walking through a crowd as a 5'3" bookworm? Absolutely not. And when it comes to extremely attractive people, extremely attractive women, people will make more room for them. People will be more likely to give up their seats for them, to simply give them things for no reason. The justice system even gives attractive people lighter sentences for committing crime. It is what it is. Argue with your parents about it. Or how about the confidence and assertiveness with which a person walks? It is well documented that predators will target people who have a weak gait or seem lost. So I guarantee how a person is walking also applies to their experiences when navigating sidewalk etiquette. Of course, there are definitely men out there who are oblivious or entitled and aggressive, who are actively looking for problems, and I'd concede that I'd even bet that there are more men like that than there are women. I'm with you on that. But also, those are sometimes the exact type of guys that you probably don't want to go out of your way to slam into, which brings me to my final point. If I went downtown tomorrow and purposely tried to run into men, I bet you someone would try me. And I'm 6'1" and I don't look like an easy mark. So imagine the privilege required to be able to go around assaulting people and not getting punched in the face for it. And sure, like I said, psychology and science would probably find evidence that men tend to be more spatially dominant and assertive than women. And there is probably a little nature and a little nurture and a little culture and a little evolutionary biology and psychology involved. And I'm open to that and I'm willing to learn. So come back with some empirical studies and solutions, not just biased anecdotal experiments and physical assault. Until then, y'all can save the girl math for the double-digit IQ social justice warrior types who eat it up and spend their entire lives online hating men. Stay mad, because it's good for my algorithm.